What time is it?
It's time for art!
Second and third grade, welcome back. Last time you came to art, we made a cornucopia, or at least a picture that looked like a cornucopia. We wove paper instead of wood to make a picture of a basket and not a real basket. Last week, I was saying that artists throughout history, all the way to ancient Egypt, have made pictures of food because it's one thing people have in common. Everyone eats. And I was thinking, or maybe you were thinking, why do so many still life pictures deal with food? Mostly food and some flowers also. And I said I would explain it this week, so here we go. The best that I can. Food and flowers come in a variety of different shapes and colors and textures. A lot of times artists want to showcase their abilities and show off how good they are by how well or realistic they can make a still life look. Everyone knows what an apple looks like, so if you can make your apple look super realistic, it shows or proves that you're a pretty good artist. The other reason artists use food in their still lifes is that depending on what context it's in, it can be very symbolic. Depending on what context it's in, an apple, for example, could mean more than just an apple. Other people can give fruits and vegetables their own meaning. Another thing that artists do with food, it also symbolizes your status. If you are eating a very fancy meal, that might indicate some sort of wealth. And if your food is very plain, maybe that would symbolize a lack of wealth. So in art, food is rarely just food. It usually means something else. What we are doing today is finishing our cornucopia by making fruits and vegetables that are spilling out of it to make our picture very colorful. And when you're done, I'll let you take it home as a Thanksgiving decoration. What I have today is a variety of different construction papers. I like to draw with just a few markers. As long as your marker is darker than the colored paper, this will look great. What I want to do first is show you the simple version of these fruits and vegetables. As long as you have a red piece of paper and it's a circle with a stem, most people understand that that is a red apple. If you have an orange piece of paper with a circle and a stem and vertical lines going down it, most people understand that that is a pumpkin. If you have a green circle that's about the same size as your red circle and it has a stem, most people will understand that that's a green apple. A bunch of grapes look like this, and my squash kind of is light bulb shaped, and sometimes they have little warts on them. It's not the most attractive vegetable. But what I want to do right now is show you a slightly more difficult version of the apple to do. This one's kind of shaped like a heart. It's a little lumpier. It doesn't point at the bottom like a heart does. It rounds off at the bottom. Here is an example of a red apple. That looks a little more difficult to draw. And here is a better pumpkin. I'm going to start with a long and skinny oval, and then to make my pumpkin extra lumpy, I'm going to draw what looks like the letter C from the top to the bottom. And I will just keep doing that on the left side and the right side, a backward C on the right side, until I run out of paper. Now that looks like a pumpkin. The grapes and the squash, they look the same anyway. To make this look festive, like it's from the fall, I want to add fall leaves. I'm going to take this yellow piece of paper, I'm going to fold it twice, and that should give me 4 leaves. I'm going to draw the best fall leaf that I can on it, and if I keep my pieces of paper folded together as I cut it out, I will be making 4 leaves that I can glue onto my cornucopia. The next thing I'm going to do is cut out all of my fruits and vegetables, and I want to arrange them on the paper before I commit to gluing them in place to make sure that I think it's interesting. Now, one thing artists do with a still life, when they're drawing a still life or painting a still life, they have the objects overlap each other just a little bit, which kind of promotes the idea of depth in your picture. Obviously, an object that is closer to the viewer is not going to be obscured by anything else, and objects that are slightly covered up, we know are further away from the viewer. I do not want to glue these all stacked on top of each other because I've done a lot of hard work, and you have too, weaving a cornucopia and drawing all these fruits and vegetables. So what I want to do is just make sure that they're covering each other up just a little bit, just slightly. But if you rearrange these, maybe you decide I want this leaf in front of my apple, you could do that too. I like this arrangement. I don't think anything's really covering up anything else too much. I'm going to go ahead and glue these the best I can. And once you've done that, congratulations. We've made a still life, and you can take these home. See you next time. We're going to start a brand new still life next week. Today's pro tip. Last time we got our mural proposal greenlit, so now it's time to move on to the next step. This is kind of cheating. I don't think it is. Maybe it's not. What I'm going to do is I'm going to print the mural on transparency paper so that I can project it up on the wall with an overhead projector, because we got a lot of overhead projectors. So I don't know if you can see this, but here's just one part of the mural. The pro tip is make sure if you're ever printing on transparency paper, not that you probably ever will, you better make sure that it is safe to put in a printer. So this stuff is good, it passes the test. This will be in black and white when I print it. Let's see, Control P print. And if this works, we will have our picture on invisible paper. Follow me. Here we go. And here we go, kids. There is the deer and the pot of gold and the rainbow. See you next time. Bonus points! Hello, second and third grade. Last week's bonus point, I asked you which president made Thanksgiving a national holiday. What I want you to do today is tell me the name of the lady that brought it to his attention. There's a neat little children's book, picture book, all about this lady's struggle to have Thanksgiving turned into a national holiday. What is her name? Okay, see you next week. We're gonna work on a new still life.